Good morning YouTubians, it's Kermit's Ghost. Today I'm going to take a look at a film that was released on the 21st of January 1992 at the Sundance Film Festival and then went on to have a limited release in October of the same year. Number 24 on the cult movie poster, a movie that had a budget of just $1.2 million. It's directed by Quentin Tarantino, his second feature film I may add. First one being My Best Friend's Birthday in 1987, and as you already know because it says so on the title of this video, it is Reservoir Dogs. Let's pop this in the player and see what it's all about.
Alright ramblers, let's get rambling. That's your proof? You don't need proof when you have instinct.
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for the waitresses.
Alright, first things fucking last.
Fuck you, maniac! There's two ways you can go on this job. My way or the highway.
Yeah, but Mr. Brown, that's a little too close to Mr. Shit.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? Let's go to work. Larry, stop pointing that fucking gun at my dad!
Why not Mr. Pink?
Because you're a faggot, alright?
Nobody tells me shit. You can torture me all you want.
Torture you, that's a good idea. I like that one.
Well, the film stars Harvey Keitel as Mr. White, Tim Roth as Mr. Orange, Michael Madsen as Mr. Blonde, Chris Penn as Nice Guy Eddie, Steve Buscemi as Mr. Pink, Lawrence Tierney as Joe Cabot, Edward Bunker as Mr. Blue, Kirk Boltz as Marvin Nash, and Quentin Tarantino as Mr. Brown. The movie opens with a group of smartly dressed men sitting having breakfast in a diner, talking and having a laugh. Nothing serious, just discussing lyrics to Like a Virgin by Madonna and just general chit chat. They are about to finish and leave when Steve Buscemi's character, Mr. Pink, tells them that he's always refused to tip people, and he explains why. But he does anyway because the guy at the head of the table, Joe, tells him to put in his dollar. Then the film cuts dramatically to after an event. We don't know what it is, but we see Tim Roth's character, Mr. Orange, has been shot in the stomach and he's in a very bad way. Harvey Keitel's character, Mr. White, is driving him and telling him to keep calm. Well, they make their way to a warehouse, which we find out is the rendezvous point for the group of men. Now, Mr. Pink soon arrives and he believes what's just happened was a setup, because it turns out they've just robbed a diamond store and loads of police were waiting for them. Mr. White starts to recall what's happened and tells Mr. Pink that Mr. Brown is dead. That was Quentin Tarantino's character. And Mr. Blue and Mr. Blonde are missing. He also claims that Mr. Blonde, played by Madsen, is a psychopath and went on a killing spree during the robbery. Mr. Pink informs Mr. White that he has the diamonds from the heist and that he's stashed them away. Meanwhile, Mr. Orange has passed out and is bleeding profusely from his stomach wound, and Mr. Pink and Mr. White start arguing as to whether to take Mr. Orange to the hospital or not, and an argument that sees them putting their guns on each other. Mr. Blonde arrives very calmly. He's drinking a milkshake and he tells them that he has something to show them in the trunk of his car. Boot if you're in the UK. They all go outside, open the trunk and smile. Mr. Blonde has kidnapped a police officer during the getaway. This story is peppered with flashbacks and we learn that Mr. Blonde served 4 years in jail whilst on a job for Joe and his son Nice Guy Eddie, the guys who just organised the diamond heist. And although he could have made a deal by snitching on Joe, who is a big fish in the crime world, he didn't. So he's trusted, and this is key in the film. So Eddie shows up while Mr. White and Mr. Pink are beating the cop senseless to find out if it was a setup or not, and he takes charge. He tells Mr. Blonde to watch the cop while he, Mr. Pink and Mr. White move the cars from the getaway that are parked out front. So we are left with Mr. Orange, half dead, bleeding out on the floor, a cop, Marvin Nash, tied to a chair, badly beaten, and a very calm, dangerous Mr. Blonde. And that is where I'll leave the story there. So did I enjoy Reservoir Dogs? Well, when I first saw this at the cinema, I didn't care for it. Same the second time. But I bought this copy for reviewing, thinking I'm not going to like it after disliking it twice before. But after not seeing it for almost 15 years, I have to say I really did enjoy it. I can't explain why I didn't before. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. But I was glued to the screen this time. The dialogue was fast, gritty and realistic. The absence of the actual heist was a smart move. It left a lot to your imagination. I mean, the fate of Mr. Blue and the victims of Mr. Blonde are all left to the viewer. A lack of locations, claustrophobic feel of the warehouse, it all adds to the tension, not to mention the characters that are all on edge. The film has a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes and the pacing never lacks. I would give this film 7.5 out of 10. So that is it. Do you agree with my score? Let me know down in the comments. I will get back to you, I promise. Give the video a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? And on that note, thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.